So as far as the second game was concerned between Coal City and Yorkville, apparently there was a time limit that had expired of 1 hour and 45 minutes, and Coal City won at 114-6. They called after 6 innings because they had the start one to squeeze in between Huntley and DeKalb. I'm Corey Stolzenbach and got Christopher Simon. And this is the third game of our triple header here on Friday Night Lights, DeKalb and Huntley. And we're getting set to go here. And we're streaming live on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. And so I'm still trying to write in the lineup for my scorebook right here. We have Morgan Newport, who is going to start this game for DeKalb. She's pitching as lefty. She's going to be pitching to Skylar Herring, I think that is. Yeah, Skylar Herring behind the plate. Then there's Jenna Levine over at first base. Mallory Warner at second. Shortstop Abby Taylor, and playing third base is Maya Millard. Then in the outfield from left to right we have Peyton Montgomery, Aaron Karaszowski, and J.C. Longville. Hope I was not butchering any of these names. And I see that Newport is a left-handed pitcher, the first lefty we have seen tonight on the mound from any squad in our games. And so DeKalb really is a murderer's row team. How about this? They beat Elgin 12-0 in 5 innings on March 22nd. Then on March 26th, they beat Boylan 15-5 in 5. They beat Geneva 11-8 March 28th. And then March 29th, they beat South Elgin 15-4 in 5 innings. So, Christopher, this is really a team to be reckoned with. Huntley's going to have their hands full, and only one team has managed to not even make this a slaughter against DeKalb. So, I mean, this team is a loaded offense, and Huntley definitely has a challenge ahead of them tonight. And Jessica Shields is going to lead things off for the Red Raiders.
Well, you know, DeKalb coach Jeff Davis definitely said in one of his post-game interviews that that one game that was not done in 5 innings, that being against Geneva on March 28th, was an actual first test for his team, and they rallied in that game and came back, the seesaw battle. But again, his team still scored more than 10 runs and emerged victorious. So, yeah, this DeKalb team is a force to be reckoned with. That is for sure.
Jessica Davis, a first pitch swing. That was a 4-3 put, I believe, from Warner to Levine. That was a very tough one. There's Tiffany Geis, who's the starting pitcher tonight for Huntley, who was showing blind. Again, very close right here. Pickups one, flipping up is Newport. So how about that? 2 swings, 2 outs, and oh my goodness, this DeKalb team already is just so full of energy. They're so fast, so quick on their feet. I have not seen anything like this so far on Friday Night Lights.
I actually got the exact same impression. They take the field with command, and they're dancing around after each out. They look very formidable out there.
Here's Riley Pareto, a swing and a miss for strike one. And you know, I talked to Coach Mark Petriniak, who's got more than 200 wins in 13 seasons at Huntley. I asked him for a pregame interview. He's like, we're starting in 1 minute. I'm like, what do you mean we're starting in 1 minute? But I guess I'll try to do some pregame information from him after the second game had concluded, but I guess it wasn't enough time. So it's 1-1 to Pareto with 2 outs. And that was a good turnaround spin right there by Newport, the pitcher, who had to pick that one up, spin, and then toss to first. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 2 to Pareto.
Yeah, definitely part of the fun of these triple headers that we have scheduled here at Friday Night Lights. We got less and less time in between these games to get ready, but not only us, but the teams, and it's all part of the fun, I think, of these evenings to kind of play a marathon game. And as you mentioned, the reason for that semi-shortened game that we just saw, that wasn't due to slaughter rule, but it was simply we ran out of time and have to keep things moving. So very efficiently moving through this first inning, though, is DeKalb with their pitching and defense.
1-2 and a swing and a miss, strike 3. So boom, boom, boom. Newport gets Pareto to strike out. And we're going to go to the bottom of the first. The score, Huntley 0, DeKalb coming up. We're back here on Friday Night Lights. Corey Stolzenbach and Christopher Simon here, streaming on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Scoring nothing, going to the bottom of the first. Peyton Montgomery to lead things off for DeKalb. The Bars. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment. Right behind tonight's star, Tiffany Geis. From left to right, we have Peyton, we have Auden Casal, Jessica Shields, and Riley Pareto, who just struck out in the top half of the first inning to end it against Morgan Newport. The infield goes with Jackie Doran at shortstop. Then was Megan Brixowski, I believe. Yes, Brixowski. As a 1-0 to Montgomery, as corner infielders are very much in, and that is a pitch down low, 2-0. So yeah, Brzezinski at third base. Then we have Haley O'Mara playing second base. Way in right now is Taylor Pacana, a corner infield at first base. And here is a slapper right here. This is going to be a 6-3 high throw. And yes, indeed, that is the shortstop, Jackie Doran, with a high throw over to Pacana. And just got by about a half a step. That was a very high throw. Here's Abby Taylor now batting second. Behind the plate is Sophie Tenuta for Tiffany Geis, the starter. And here we go. Taylor running swing once again. This is going to be Brzezinski, who's going to throw this one overhead to Pacana at first base. And look at them coming to congratulate Geis. So yeah, they're playing full of energy too, and all of a sudden it's 2 outs. I looked down at my scorebook trying to write all the names because I still can't do that because of how fast this thing is going. All of a sudden it's 2 outs, and here's Morgan Newport facing her counterpart. Boom, boom, boom. 2 outs so far here in this bottom of the first, Christopher. And here we go. There's a first pitch swing, high fly ball left field. Coming as a fair ball base hit. This is going to be extra bases for Morgan Newport as she stops and hesitates and backs up to second base. So that looked pretty questionable to me. Coming in right there was Casal in left field. I wasn't so sure if that was going to drop down. Well, I knew it was going to drop down. I wasn't so sure if it was going to hit the white line or not. If it was going to be a foul territory or not. But apparently, yes, indeed, it was a fair ball, just fair. And so Newport took off for extra bases. Here is Mallory Warner at second base with a runner on second in scoring position and 2 outs here in this bottom of the first. And DeKalb trying to get some going against Geis. And runner goes, and Newport, yeah, that hits her. That hits Mallory Warner in the leg. And so she'll be awarded first base. It looked like Newport was taken off. She probably would have been there easily, but that got Warner there in the left leg. And so now here is Erin Karaszewski, the third baseman, I believe. Yes, indeed. No, wait. Sorry, no, she's not.
Second baseman.
Second baseman, Karaszewski, yes. Barely keep up with this thing, but I'm trying my best to adapt to this. Karaszewski stepping from the left-hand side, a swing and a miss. Everything holds up there. Runners were threatening, but it's 0-1. So, Christopher, maybe you need to talk a little faster this broadcast to get the words in, because how fast-paced this is going. Karaszewski, the second baseman, runners going again, swing and a miss, and Newport's going to retreat back to second.
All right, so now let me interject. No, definitely fast-paced, and it's funny how it's been so fast-paced, yet there's not been anything really happening. Now there's a couple base runners, but mostly defense and quick outs here from both teams.
So I'm still writing this in my scorebook. That's a foul back, 0-2. Looks like at this pace I'll be writing a lot. I'm trying not to miss the action, trying to call us the absolute best of my ability. Here we go once again. That catches the higher up and away. 1-2 to Karaszewski. On deck is Mallory Warner. No, wait, that's not. No, wait. Wait, Erin Karaszewski is playing in center field, not second base, and this is a high pop-up. And coming in charging on this one is Casal. So that's going to retire the side. We're going to the top of the second. Score Huntley 0, DeKalb 0. And here we go. Friday Night Lights, Corey Stolzamach and Christopher Simon. Haley O'Mara's going to lead things off in the top of the second after a 1-2-3 top of the first for Huntley facing Morgan Newport. Riley Pareto struck out. Here is Haley O'Mara, second baseman senior. And it's going to be high up, 1 ball and no strike the count.
You know, it's been so fast-paced. I was going to mention, as we led this game off, this is a very, very big game because Huntley and DeKalb actually met in last season's regional championship, and Huntley defeated DeKalb 4-3. That was their first postseason title since 2009. So these are two teams that have just seen each other, have just played each other in a huge game, and are here at Friday Night Lights for another battle. And thus far, we've seen a great, great game. Very, very quick, very, very clean, and very, very good.
You think they might be out for blood, DeKalb?
Oh, I would be.
They're 1-2, and this is going to be a chopper right here to Mallory Warner, who is going to throw this one a backhanded effort over to Jenna Levine, the first baseman, and going to congratulate Newport. Looks like the umpire is cautioning, saying, no, you can't go inside the circle, maybe. Or is there, it looks like, yes, yeah, there's an out, but.
Some sort of warning, yeah, for sure.
Maybe a warning, yeah. So what have we got here? Maybe second chance after all? I guess so. Maybe there was a foul off, maybe. Yeah, I guess perhaps there was a ricochet, and I thought it was fair, and maybe it hit a body part foul.
There you go.
There we go. That was high up and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. O'Mara's hits per average. She's got a lot of power. Drives in a lot of runs. Is a senior, integral part of this Huntley offense. And here we go. And this is going to be a line shot foul into the left stands. It remains at full count. So 3-2 to Haley O'Mara. She is their senior second baseman facing Morgan Newport. Here we go. And that is high up and in. So that is ball 4. And with that ball 4, here comes Autumn Casal, who I believe made the final out of this previous bottom of the first. Looks like there's a word of advice right there. As Casal batting from the right-handed side. This is very intense. The moral of the story so far is if you blink, you miss the action.
Very true.
And here we go. Here's the DLN showing Bonus Casal and charges one that is off the hand of Newport. And she has no play. Firing back to second base, and that is safe. Safe over there at second. So, yes, it was a bunt, a successful bunt over there by Casal. She bunted. Newport tried to pick it up and spin and fire over towards first. It bounced off her hand. Meanwhile, O'Mara was taking second. I think maybe she took her feet off the bag a little bit and tried to slide back in. She was safe. And here is Megan Bazuski, who is, I believe, third base tonight for Huntley. And here is a first pitch half swing. That's going to drop in to shallow right field. Base hit. Could be a force out, a fire strike. Everybody moves up. We are all safe. And here we go. Huntley has themselves a first base hit of the night. And all of a sudden, it is, well, still no score, but our bags full of Red Raiders. And here is Sophia Tenuta against Morgan Newport.
And Bazuski helping her own cause with that bloop hit. Loading up the bags, nobody out. Of course, there's a force at any base, but a huge, huge opportunity here for Tenuta.
Yes, indeed. They'll need all the runs they can get, considering here's a line shot caught. A very nicely job done by Abby Taylor, the shortstop. That was a line shot hit right at her. She had to dive to her right to make that out. Everybody else is safe. No one got doubled up. Here is Taylor Picana with 1 out in this top of the second.
Wow, what a play. Great reaction. She already had taken a couple of steps in. And a great snag there. I mean, the defense we've seen so far by both these teams has been night and day compared with what we saw in the first couple games.
Yes, absolutely. You can see they're playing with a lot of intensity, a lot of energy. The flair is absolutely unreal. There's nothing in one to Pecana right now. So Newport steps in. Bases are full, 1 out, and that is high up and in, 1-1. Paulo to the first baseman, escaping this, which will be a very good spin. She is the designated player. Nothing in 1 to Brown. Top of second, that is Huntley won regional last year against DeKalb. It's going to be a high fly ball right field, coming in and under it with a very nice shoestring catch out there on right. That is J.C. Longville, and that is going to retire the side. And we're going to go to the bottom half of the second. The score, Huntley nothing, DeKalb nothing. All right, well, Tiffany Geis has been one of 2 starters of prominence for this Huntley squad. Kateri Conklin is the other. And Geis is going out there. Almost had some run support, and has taken for a strike to Skylar Herring, Corey Stolzenbach, and Christopher Simon here. ChicagoBandits.com, YouTube, Friday Night Lights. 3rd game of our triple header. This is high up and away. 1 ball and no strike to Herring. Each team has 1 hit. There is an error on behalf of DeKalb. And here we go. Geis, and that is taken high up for a strike. 1 and 2 to Herring. So yes, Kateri Conklin and Tiffany Geis do make a formidable duo for Huntley, and that is up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Conklin is not playing tonight. She is on the bench, and this one is fouled back behind the plate. 2 and 2. Geis also plays right field. She did lose to Barrington on March 26th, 5-4. And here we go. And a swing and a miss. Right up and out of the zone for a strike 3. And here come all the Red Raiders to congratulate Geis on the K. Now here is Jenna Levine, the first baseman. Levine couldn't unfortunately get pronunciation there. Like I said, trying to do pregame prep work, and then I found there's no time at all trying to get this 3rd game in. This is high and up, 1-0. If you've been joining us at all tonight, thank you so much, especially if you've been with us all 3 games. You are very dedicated. Really do appreciate your patience. We apologize for all the mistakes we made. And this is off the plate, 2-0. Actually, no, stand corrected. That is a strike. That is off the plate. 1-1. Looked like that was easily ball 2, but guess now it's a called strike. And here we go. Now this one is off the plate, down low, 2-1. Levine bat from the left-hand side. The outfielders are at normal depth. Corner infielders are a little in, crouched in. It is 3 balls and 1 strike to Levine.
Tiffany Geis is a little bit all over the place currently, now giving Levine a nice 3-1 count to mix up the network.
And a swing and a miss, full count. Well, keep in mind, partner, Morgan Newport did have the bases loaded with just one out. It was easily could have been Huntley to have scored some runs on top of the second, but no dice. So I don't think guys is too worried if it's a full count to Levine with just one out, no one on base when you consider what happened. This is going to be fouled back. That is going to hit the left side of the stands of the bleachers. Remains a full count. On deck is Torrey Newport, the designated player for tonight. And here we go, crouched in. That is inside, up and up. So that's ball for Levine, who hustles all the way over the first base. She gets herself a base on ball. So there's Newport. And very much in is Taylor Picano, who's pretty much all the way in, possibly anticipating a bunt from Newport. I can imagine that she would fire to second base, whether it would be O'Mara covering or perhaps Abby Taylor. And that is going to get away. That's a pass ball and sliding to second base, and that throw is going to get into the outfield. Yes, indeed. Going to be safe on that one is Jenna Levine. She's going to slide in. Have to say, Sophia Tenuta, she misplayed that one. And then she threw that one running over to cover. That one was... Oh, wait, I'm sorry about this. That's Jackie Doran playing shortstop, not Abby Taylor. Jackie Doran was running to cover second base. Apologize for that. And there we go. That is taken down low and in to Torrey Newport, 3-1. So the force out at second base is neutralized, given that there's a runner in scoring position right now. Newport is 3-1. On deck is J.C. Longville, and this is going to be fouled against the net, 3-2, and we'll go again.
Nonetheless, that was just an ill-advised throw from Tenuta. I mean, there really wasn't any way she was going to get that out, and from her back knee, essentially, she was kind of already on her knees and had no really ability to get that throw where it needed to be.
And a swing and a miss, strike three, 2 down. You can see Huntley is all fired up. Here's J.C. Longville. That is the second strikeout of the inning for Geis. Bama is second, runner in scoring position. And there we go, showing a bunt. A good bunt, but as a very high throw from Brzezinski over to Pecan at first base, but gets about a half a step. That's going to retire the side. We're going to the top of the third. The score, Huntley nothing, DeKalb nothing. All right, this is Corey Stolzemont, Christopher Simon. Jessica Shields going to lead things off for a Huntley who have already batted around here. And it's going to be the top of the third. Facing Morgan Newport is going to dig in. That's taken for a strike, 0-1. Jessica Shields is very versatile, to say the least. She's very fast, lightning fast. She can steal a ton of bases. She's very versatile. Can play outfield, can bat left-hand, right-hand, can play shortstop. She can pretty much do it all except pitch. Coach Mark Petranian was quoted in saying in an article earlier in the week in a feature story about her. Shields is very athletic, very fast. All-conference selection last year. Here we go, nothing into to her, and a swing and a miss, strike three. So Newport sets her down. And you know what? And here come all the Barbs to congratulate Newport on that K. You know, Christopher and I have called seesaw games as Tiffany Geist steps in. We've called seesaw games on Friday Night Lights. This may be the one who draws first blood as the one who wins. And digging now as Geist says off the plate, 1-0. I see that Mallory Warner is playing adjacent with the circle. And the same can be said about Maya Millard, the third baseman. So it's an interesting line. This is way in. And this is going to be a high pop-up and just off the glove of Millard, who was charging in. All of the infielders are pretty much charging in. And so was a left fielder right there, Peyton Montgomery, coming in towards the DeKalb dugout, 1-1 to Geis.
You're not kidding. It's an interesting, almost, definitely aggressive defensive orientation. Really takes away the even idea of a bunt. And, it just kind of looks intimidating as the third baseman and the second baseman come in aggressively and force you to put the ball in play somewhere feasible.
And especially out there in left and right as a swing and a miss. Strike three. So that is now the second K of the inning. Now the outfield line is much home run. So time looks like she did. That is high and away.
Dependent on if Huntley can, or we're not defenders, and make the most of. She is definitely good enough of an athlete to make.
And so that is going to be a base hit, it looks like, possibly an error. But in any event, though, Pareto is going to reach base safely. Yes, Miller tried to dive for this one, and that deflected off her glove. And so Pareto reaches base. Let's see how they score it. You could make a case for an error or for a hit. Don't think they're scoring this one yet. Here's Haley O'Mara showing bunt. Millard was charging in 1-0. We still have not seen an official score keep yet. You tell me, Christopher, that was an error or a hit. Looks like it could have gone either way.
Be prone to say error, simply because it went off her glove and definitely had a play on that ball. I know it's tough to say in these situations, especially at this level as well, because some plays are, or maybe we're used to seeing the professionals where they make it look easy, but once again, it's not. And that was a tricky play, but it still seemed to me that that play should have been made.
And here we go to O'Mara, who swings right through this one for strike two. 1-2 the count, and DeKalb has been offensive juggernauts. Their bats have been full steam ahead, full speed ahead, and Huntley has been a great match for them so far in 2 innings. And here we go, run on first, and just got a piece of it fouled back. 1-2. This DeKalb offense and the things that they have done has just been incredible so far. They have scored 53 runs in their first 4 games so far, and they have allowed 17. So wrap that around your head for a moment. A swing and a miss, strike 3. So Newport strikes out the side. We're going to go to the bottom of the third. The score, Huntley nothing, DeKalb nothing. Corey Stolzenbach back with you along Christopher Simon on Friday Night Lights. Peyton Montgomery is going to lead off here in the bottom of the third for DeKalb. We're back at Bandits Stadium, Ballpark in Rosemont. Streaming on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Montgomery steps in from the left-hand side. And it's going to be a very half-slap swing. Didn't get a good aluminum on it. Didn't really get all of it on that bat. Coming in to charge right there was Taylor Pecan, the first baseman for Huntley, but that was in foul territory. It's 0-1 in Montgomery, and at this current pace, the way it's going, 7 innings may not be enough for these two teams. And swing once again, a running swing from Montgomery, 0-2 the count.
And not for the reason that we saw in our previous 2 games today, where runs were frequent and often. Here it's going to, I think you said very well, the first one that will score might just be the only one that will score.
And this is high up, 1-2. Delivery from Geis. That is down off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just point to our listeners, Autumn Casal is playing a little shallow out in left field, not nearly as shallow as the DeKalb outfield was in the last half inning. That's a swing and a miss, strike 3, so it was a running swing, and that is a strikeout right there. We've seen a lot of strikeouts tonight from both sides, especially Huntley has struck out a lot. And you can see right there the fist pump, the fist of joy from Tiffany Geis, as she's able to start off the bottom of third with a swinging K, and now here is Abby Taylor with a running swing right there. It seems like this is pretty rampant. We've seen this here and there tonight, but it seems like especially this DeKalb team, there seems to be like a lot of running swinging out of the boxes from this Barb's team.
Yeah, that's definitely their technique, is getting that running head start, kind of a slap hit, just to get moving and put the ball in play and use their speed to reach the base paths and then create havoc from there.
Small ball does big things. I believe it should be 1-1 to Taylor.
And as you mentioned, Tiffany Geis, as she continues to pitch, that's her 3rd strikeout she just registered. And I believe Newport has 5, as I'm counting.
That was a ton of them. That's 2 strikes to Taylor. Yeah, there's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The scoreboard had 0-2, and running out of the box again, but that was off the plate outside. Even counted 2 to Abby Taylor. Taylor stepping in from the left-handed side. Brzezowski is rather in over at third. And here we go, and that is way high up and over the helmet of Taylor. She's very lucky it didn't hit her. That sailed over her head. And so you have the shortstop, Jackie Doran, for Huntley, who did have her left foot forward, and she's playing a little in, rather aggressive, waiting for something, possibly for the ball to hit to her. Here it goes. Taylor's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and here they come once again. This is a strikeout party right here. So, yeah, another strikeout. A swing and a miss from Abby Taylor in the bottom of the third. This is turning into anything you can do, I can do better between Newport and Geis. And here is Morgan Newport. Speaking of her, she digs in right here at 2 outs in the bottom of the third.
And that definitely was an awkward strikeout and swing by Abby Taylor to go down swinging there. Really seemed fooled, and once she decided to swing, she knew she was not going to be able to keep up with Tiffany Geis' pitch.
Takes this one. 0-1. Here we go. And this is line base hit into center field. This is going to be a line drive all the way to the right field wall. This is going to be extra bases. Here comes Newport running second half for third. She's going to stand up. She's going to hesitate. That's going to be safe right there. So as a stand-up triple for Morgan Newport, looked like possibly that she was trying to maybe score. I don't know for sure. That was Riley Pareto out in right field who tried to play that one. What happened here was Taylor Pacana, she tried to dive that one by first base. That got just past her glove. That was a line shot. Maybe it took a bounce or two into right field, and that got all the way to the wall as Newport was able to take advantage, full speed ahead, go to second, then go to third. Thinking about home plate, but then stopped. And now it's 0-1. Here's Mallory Warner with an excellent shot to possibly drive this first run. But there is 2 outs in any event in this bottom of the third as 0-2. And keep in mind, Newport struck out the side in the top of the third, and Tiffany Geis has a chance to do the same here with 1 more strike to go. And Warner right here. Let's see what happens, and that is high and off the plate with Newport at third. 1-2 the count with 2 outs.
And I think Newport really wanted to score on that play. I think she was going to keep going, but head coach there,
Jeff Davis.
Jeff Davis, indeed, told her to put the brakes on and wait to see if she can get driven in.
High and off the plate, even count at 2. Deuces are wild. Here we go. Bottom of the third. Guys trying to strike out the side. Warner trying to battle back here. And this is going to be a line shot in foul territory all the way, it looks like, into the concessions, past the Huntley bullpen. 2-2 account. That ball is still rolling. Maybe a lucky fan will have a souvenir if they could find it after the game. And here we go, and that is going to be down and in for a full count. Payoff pitch coming up would be runners at the corners with 2 outs if indeed Warner is walked right here. And that would bring up Aaron Karaszewski to be the batter. If Warner is walked right here, it's going to be a swing foul back against the net. 3-2, and we'll go again. I see one of the ball girls, I guess, for Huntley is going to retrieve that, so much for that souvenir. And here we go. That's going to be a liner. Base hit into center field. Up the middle for a base hit. Playing over right there is Haley O'Mara. Maybe just a few feet away from her as she dove for the ball, but that just took a bounce into center field. A couple hops in a shallow center. Newport scores. Mallory Warner keeps alive. It is 1-0 DeKalb. And there is first blood. Let's see if it's last blood as well. There's still some time. Both teams playing aggressive, but Geis does not get out unscathed. Here is Karaszewski with 2 outs. It's going to be up and in. So that is an RBI single for Mallory Warner. And so Newport is going to score on this one as 1-0. It's a bouncing ball, single in the center field. O'Mara had probably the best chance of any Raider to get a hold of that one and possibly backhand that one, stop it from going into the outfield, but nonetheless is 1-0 Barbs right here. And here we go. This is going to be line shots and blooper, and that's going to get past Cassell in left field. So that's going to be a base hit, and it looks like it's going to be a single and possibly move on to second base. So Karaszewski hits a blooper into left field. It's going to bounce down. It looks like Cassell maybe favoring one of her knees. I'm not too sure. Going to third base is Warner. And what had turned out to be, or what looked like it was going to be, runners. Might have been strike out the side potentially with no damage done. Instead, it could be a huge 2-out rally for DeKalb.
Yeah, you're not kidding. We were just saying how it would be tough to get runs, but if you can blow this open in terms of this game, that would be 3 runs.
Here is Skylar Herring, who's going to take this one inside for a ball 1.
And just doing the little things right here is DeKalb, and those little bloop hits and just finding the holes that we've been talking about. Fighting and at-bats, it's just been that kind of thing, and it doesn't take much in a game like this to just get a little thing rolling. If they can capitalize here on 2 outs, that would be huge.
Reminds me of the Royals.
Indeed.
And here we go, Geis to Herring. That's going to be a swing and a foul ball off the net, deflected 1-2 to Herring. So Geis technically still can't strike out the side, but she will not get out of it unscathed. As the Barbs have drawn first blood, and we'll see how the Raiders respond. There are two runners in scoring position. 1-2 to Herring. Here we go. And that is taken down low for a ball. 2-2 the count here in this bottom half of the third inning. Herring facing Geis, and that is high. Call, strike 3. She caught her looking, but not before DeKalb draws first blood. Let's see how Huntley responds to score. Barb's 1, Raiders nothing, going to the top of the fourth. And back inside the ballpark at Rosemont for Friday Night Lights, the third game of our triple header. Corey Stolzenbach, Christopher Simon right here. Here's Autumn Casal to lead things off for the Raiders, who have to respond after DeKalb took first blood right there, and they crossed home plate first in the bottom of the third. There was an RBI single by Mallory Rohrner to score in the pitcher Morgan Newport, who goes back to work on the mound to face Casal, and here she goes, and taken for a strike, 0-1. Newport struck out the side in the top of the third. Tiffany Geis struck out the side in the bottom of the third, although she did allow 1 run. And so DeKalb grabbed the lead first, and a swing and a miss right here. 0-2 to Casal.
Newport has great velocity on those pitches, and not only that, but it doesn't remain in just one place. So sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low, outside. Very, very dynamic pitcher out there on the mound.
This is taken for a ball. Should be 1-2, I think. Maybe it got changed, unless its signal should be 1-2, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. Make that 4 straight Ks for Morgan Newport. She is absolutely rolling. Down on strikes, though. And there's going to be Megan Brzezinski right here. So yeah, down on strikes goes Autumn Casal. And there's 1 down here at the top of the fourth.
Brzezinski with a base hit in the second.
Yes, indeed. 1 ball and no strikes to Brzezinski. There is a wide gap up the middle. And a swing and a miss right through this one. Up and out of the zone. Chasing there was Brzezinski, 1-1. So Casal went down on strikes. Should point out O'Mara was retired. As was, I believe, Geis and Shields in the third.
Right, all by the strikeout, and you're absolutely right. Newport seems to be rolling right now. Those pitches look devastating.
Yes, 1-2 right now to Brzezinski. That's high up. Do stand corrected, though. I think Riley Pareto was on base for the third strikeout when Haley O'Mara struck out swinging, but still, Newport struck out the side on the top of the third, and here she goes again. This is fouled off, and Newport's got to turn around and throw this one at third base. To first base. Levine gets this one. Come on to congratulate her. I don't know about this one. Looks like Brzezinski may have fouled it off of one of her body parts.
That's the second time we've seen that, yeah.
But in any event, though, I guess it was ruled safe as a fair ball. I'm not so sure about that. If we looked at it again, I don't know if I'd call that one a fair, but I guess it's a moot point right now because she is retired. And here is Sophia Tenuta, who swings right through this one. Yeah, but I think Brzezinski may have gotten this one. It's a 1-3 putouts where Newport picked that one up, turned around, and fired over to Levine at first base. And a half swing check. Did she pull back? Yes, indeed, she did. So it should be an even count at 1. And yes, it is. The scoreboard agrees with us. The outfield is not playing as shallow as they once were. And there we go. So it's going to be a liner. And a very nice catch out there by J.C. Longville out in right field. She had to take many steps to her right to catch that one, maybe out in right center. But that is a liner right there. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 4th. The score, Barbs 1, Raiders nothing. If you are just joining us, you are missing a pitcher's duel so far between Tiffany Geis of Huntley, who goes back out there for a 4th inning of work here in this bottom frame, and Morgan Newport of DeKalb. You're missing a pitcher's duel. What you saw earlier, if you did see it, Galesburg and Plainfield East, it's going back and forth, seesaw battle. Here's John Levine to lead things off, taking for a strike right at the plate. 0-1. And then the second game between Coal City and Yorkville was also a lot of high-octane offense. But this one, not so much so far. And swing and a miss right through this one. Well, it's fouled off, I guess. So 0-2. You got to commend Huntley for the job they've done by containing these DeKalb bats so far, because off of DeKalb's, they haven't got much of a Huntley so far. But 1 run may be all that matters tonight, and that is taken down low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Levine.
And I don't know about you, but so far I've really enjoyed this game, I think, the most because of the defensive action and skill. A lot of runs scored, and that's fun. But so far, I think I've had a better time watching this game.
There's a high fly ball. Charging in was Autumn Casal in left field, and yes, indeed, she was under it. Here's Tori Newport with 1 down. Well, each game had their own story to tell, folks. The first one was absolutely wild and wacky, a bunch of errors, a bunch of things that you usually don't see in a softball game between Galesburg and Plainfield East. That was a lot of fun. Coal City put on an offensive onslaught. And there's the pitch to Newport, high up, 1-0 to Tori Newport. Coal City put on an offensive onslaught in the first and third innings. And even though Yorkville would lose, they were much more respectable later on, as that's going to get away from the catcher Tenuta. So it's 2 balls and no strikes to Newport. This one, though, is 1-0. And this is a pretty big lead right now. Even though it's only a 1-run lead, it's a pretty big lead. The way these 2 teams are going, playing with such flair, such dramatic, such intensity. You can tell how badly they want this one. They're so competitive. I could see it. I could feel it. They are so intense out there. They want so badly this game. 2-1 that counts to Tori Newport.
And the other note about these 2 teams, as maybe compared to the other teams we've called, They maybe made one error on the board, but that didn't seem to really slow them down, and it didn't really rattle them that much. Really composed teams on both sides, led particularly by their pitchers on the mound, but really, really disciplined and focused.
This is 3 balls and 1 strike. Swing and a miss, full count, payoff pitch coming up. Not be surprised at all if these two teams met a more meaningful game later this season, just as they did last year in regionals when Huntley won. And this is going to be a very slow chopper right there, and that's going to drift foul. Brzezinski was coming in charging, possibly had a play at it. Could have been fair, but was not. And so Newport chopped that one foul towards DeKalb head coach Jeff Davis. And here we go once again. This is going to be a chopper right here. And this is going to be a shortstop. Doran over to first baseman Pacana. As a 6-3 put out. Here's Jacqueline Longville, the right fielder who's going to step in. I believe her first at-bat of the night. Yes, all the infielders are playing way in. They must be expecting something from Longville. Perhaps she's very fast or possibly a bunt. But everybody is playing shallow in, including the outfielders. And there you see again, we talked about this earlier, the running swing approach from DeKalb. And we had seen this, I believe, from Abby Taylor. And, we are seeing this now. Also, yeah, here's a show of bunts. And Brzezinski, she would have had that one, but that was foul. So 1-1, yeah, Brzezinski is in. All the outfielders are in. They're pretty shallow. Possible exception being Riley Pareto out in right field. She's not as shallow, but the other two definitely are. And all the infielders are, especially the corner ones. Here's a Ryan one to Brzezinski, and no one's covering first base. Oh, my goodness. So how about that? Brzezinski was right on it. It was a swinging bunt right there by Jacqueline Longville. And I got to say, Brzezinski is right on it, but where was Taylor Pacana? She was not covering first base. By the time she got there, Longville hustled all the way to first without anyone trying to cover, and there was no throw made. And now here's Peyton Montgomery with 2 outs here in this bottom of the 4th. Now there is another swing, running swing right there, again towards Brzezinski, but that one was fouled, 0-1.
Those running swings have the effect of essentially a swinging bunt. So, it seems to be the, like you said, the small ball that they're trying to work with, and just place those balls right where they're supposed to be. And as you saw there in the previous play, nobody covering first base, and that worked out perfectly.
And now here we go. We're trying to have a steal at second base, and yes, indeed, Longville is safe. So yeah, she was taken off on that one. That was down low in the dirt. It's an even count at 1 to Montgomery at second base, but more importantly, though, Longville is now in scoring position. And DeKalb could have a much-needed insurance run. They could use that desperately, and Huntley is just trying to get us one unscathed. That's a called strike 3, so I guess the scoreboard got it wrong. A called strike 3 of Peyton Montgomery. Tiffany Geis and company really dodged this one. We're going to go to the top of the 5th. The score, DeKalb 1, Huntley nothing. All right, here we go. Taylor Pacana is going to lead things off in this top of the 5th against Morgan Newport. DeKalb was up 1-0 on Huntley. And got to give credit to Huntley for containing this DeKalb offense. This is going to be a first pitch swing against the net, fouled by Pacana behind the plate, 0-1. And Now, DeKalb is very competitive. They know how to score runs. They really got to earn this victory tonight the way they're playing against Huntley right now, the way Huntley is playing them tight and close. Maybe Huntley can scratch something and force a run or two across the plate themselves. There's Newport dealing to Pecana, and that is going to be taken up for a ball. Maybe just a little up and out of the zone, 1-1 to Pecana here in this top half of the fifth. Still only one hit for Huntley. And here we go. Swing this one. There's a second hit right there. That is a line shot base hit into right field. Playing in right there was Jackie Longville, and she was very shallow. Good speed right there, but it was a line shot right there by Pecana into right. Here is Caitlin Brown as Huntley is desperately trying to muster up something. They'll take anything they can get with the way Morgan Newport is pitching tonight.
Well, we were talking about earlier about head coach Jeff Davis and his expectations of his team. He said after a game on last Saturday on the 26th that he thought his team needed to improve his defense, and that then in a game where they scored 15 runs, they hit the ball well, quote unquote, they hit the ball well. Well, I agree with that they must have hit the ball well in that game. Of course, we've said they're scrounging for hits and runs here, but the defense, again, definitely, you can see the improvement in the work they've put in just in this week, let alone less than that, to come out here and to be putting on the display that they're putting on right now.
Well, when you're 4-0 and you score double-digit runs in each of your first 4 games, it really says a lot about you. Here's a showing bunt by Caitlin Brown, and charging in there was Levine, who throws the first, and then trying to slide back in there over at second base was Pecana, and so that's one down. And yes, so let's see how we could score that. It looks like Warner was playing covering first base when Levine picked that one up on a show bunt by Brown. Over to second was Pecana. She's safe right there. And there was a throw to second to try to make sure she was safe, and yes, she was. Here's Jessica Shields, who's very fast herself. And trying to run right there was Brown. 1-0 right there. This is a big testament to Huntley, the fact that this DeKalb team has scored double digits in each of their first 4 games, and now they've only gotten 1 run so far in this game against Huntley. That says a lot about them. It's taken for a strike out of part of the plate, 1-1.
Another interesting note is Huntley has only recorded 2 games so far. They really haven't even played that much, but of course maybe they know this team well from that regional game and simply have just not played that much. Still fresh, perhaps. So, also, I believe Huntley is the one who retained a lot of their players from last year.
Abby Taylor was rushing to cover third, with Shields possibly trying to show bunt. 3-0. Everybody is way in. And this is going to be a slapper and a base hit into shallow right field. So that was very close. I got to tell you, Jessica Shields, they're really swimming with sharks out there. That DeKalb defense, everybody playing so shallow in. And not much was going to get past them. That, however, did. That was a swinging base knock into shallow right. And Longville is able to pick it up. So it's runners at the corners of 1 out. And this is very crucial. Here is Tiffany Gush trying to help her own cause and possibly break the tie. Good piece in right there to find a hole. And now showing a bunt. And going to second base right there is Jessica Shields. So I'm guessing that'll be a defensive indifference. Nothing in 1 the count. So that takes away the force out. Now this is a game of chess right here. This is more than just softball. This is chess. This is very strategic. This is very intense. Very thing. And now here's a slap hit right here. And this is going to be off. The pitch is going to be off of Newport. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I just saw. Folks. Maya Millard was trying to throw to Levine at first base, and then somehow her throw hit Newport and deflected off of her. And so coming in to score and to make this a tie game, that was Caitlin Brown, or excuse me, Taylor Pecana. It was Pecana, who scored that one. I don't want to rip up Jack Buck here, but I really don't believe what I just saw. Here is Riley Pareto, who shows bunt, and now going to take second base on a defensive indifference is Geis, and now all of a sudden is Huntley with runners at second and third with one out, and all of a sudden they're threatening in scoring position against Newport. Oh my goodness, what am I seeing unfold before my very eyes?
Honestly, that was just a ball that slipped right out of her hand and bounced off the dirt there and caromed, as you said, off the pitcher. And what a bizarre! I mean, it literally just fell right out of her hand.
That's nothing in two, and that is off the plate outside. Well, that was, like I said, very bizarre for sure. Reminds me of McKenna Emerson when she had that throw in the dirt and that grounder to short in the last game for Coal City. Oh, even this was even more bizarre. And that is rung up for strike three. So she was caught swinging Riley Pareto in strike three. She swung around. She had a strike three swinging, in the top of the first. Now she was caught looking here in the top of the fifth. Here is Haley O'Mara. Still runners at second and third with 2 outs. We got ourselves a 1-1 ball game.
And that's 7 strikeouts for Morgan Newport.
Yeah, it's taken for a strike, and she's 2 away from number 8. Nothing in 1 to O'Mara. Here we go. And that is off the plate. 1-1. O'Mara struck out her last time up in the top of the third. She can give her team the lead here in the top of the fifth. And here we go, and that is high up and in, 2 balls and a strike. I believe there is Geis at second base and Shields is at third. Surprised the infielders aren't playing more in, especially the outfielders too, with how speedy Shields is. This is going to be a slapper, a liner, foul down the left field line. I'm really surprised, partner, though. I mean, you'd think that the outfielders and infielders for Huntley, for DeKalb, would be playing more in because they've been more aggressive tonight, especially with how speedy Shields is. You'd think that they would do that to try to prevent them from taking the lead.
Yeah, it's also strange you're playing aggressively in, but that doesn't allow you to play a double play depth or even cover second base. And they've allowed 2 runners from Huntley to advance from first to second base. They're taking out the double play opportunity, which could have been huge.
Those 2 outs don't need to play double play depth. Here we go, and this is going to be safe right here. 1 run is in. There's going to be another one, and now here we go. 2 runners are in. There's going to be taking second base is O'Mara. Oh my goodness, we got something to recap here. Millard again trying to throw a Levine and allowing to score right there with Shields. Levine had bobbled that one. And so coming in to also score for second base was Geis. Meanwhile, O'Mara took second base on that one. There was a throw right there at second. She was saved. Now it's 3-1 Huntley. What a turn of events. Here is Autumn Casal. Millard right there is responsible for a share of errors. This is going to be lined and caught right over this one by second baseman Mallory Warner. But now before Huntley takes the lead, what a turn of events that have transpired here in his top half of the fifth. How will DeKalb respond? Will they respond? We're going to the bottom of the fifth. The score now 3-1 in favor of the Raiders. You know, when you commit 4 errors in a game and the other team has not committed any, doesn't mean you're automatically going to be down, but it's definitely going to be tougher, and it's no exception here for DeKalb, who finds themselves in a 3-1 hole. They've committed 4 errors so far tonight, and they got some work to do, but as great of a team as they are, you know, they're not infallible, and here is Abby Taylor to lead things off against Tiffany Geis, and they are down 3-1 here in this bottom half of the 5th, and let's see what they can string together after a nice rally from the Raiders in the top half of the 5th. And that is a running swing right there by Taylor, who fouls this one back behind home plate, nothing, and won the count. This will be DeKalb's first loss of the season if they do not come back. And here we go. And that is outside, 1-1 the count. On deck is Morgan Newport, who, inconceivable as it may be, would be the pitcher of record on the losing side. That seemed a little impossible. That's a comebacker right here to Geis, and the speedy Taylor is thrown out at first base to Pecana, 1 down. As I was saying, with the way Newport was pitching, it doesn't seem very likely that she could potentially lose this game, but as it stands right now, that would be exactly the case if her team does not come back. They are down to their final 7 outs.
And kind of reminds me of the pitching matchup we saw in our first game, where the losing pitcher at the time all of a sudden became the winner, you know, the winner on the other side. And you look at Morgan Newport here, who, by the way, we didn't mention, she is a senior and a Northwestern commit for next year, and we can see why, definitely by the way she's played this game tonight.
Yes, indeed, and this is 2 balls and no strikes to Newport. And there we go, and this is going to be a liner, pop foul, and a very nice catch out there in left field by Autumn Casal. So it's going to be 2 down. So 2 down now. Here is Mallory Warner, who had the RBI single in the bottom of the 3rd tonight.
Number 13, Mallory Warner.
Yes, so you are referring to, from the first game, 1-0. You're referring
Brooke
to,
Anderson
yeah,
and
Bianca Vozenelek. Yeah, Bianca Vozenelek. How quickly we forget.
Indeed.
2 balls and no strikes to Warner. Vozenelek, yeah, they won earlier after a big rally early on after the rain delay. And slapping this one in the right field for a base hit is Mallory Warner, so she is on. And let's see if they can orchestrate a 2-out rally right here. So Warner gets herself a base hit. Here is Aaron Karaszewski.
Next batter, number 8, Aaron Karaszewski.
2 outs right here. And here's the first pitch, and that's taken, maybe caught the outer part of the plate just slightly, 0-1 to Karaszewski. And here we go, that's taken high up, 1 ball and 1 strike the count.
Karaszewski 1 for 2 tonight. Got a big double in the 3rd inning.
Yes, indeed. That was when they got their only run, and that is taken right at the knees for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Karaszewski, and Tiffany Geis looking to get another punch out right here. There have been a lot of strikeouts tonight, and there we go. And check swing, looks like yes, she did pull back. Checking for an appeal, and yes, indeed, she held up. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Karaszewski with 2 outs in this bottom of the 5th. And a comebacker right again to Geis, who fires over to Pecana at first base. That's going to retire the side. 1-3 put out. We're going to go to the top of 6th. The score, Huntley 3, DeKalb 0. Back inside the ballpark at Rosemont, Corey Stolzenbach, Christopher Simon here. Top of the 6th on Friday Night Lights, streaming live on YouTube and ChicagoBands.com. 3-1 Huntley right now as Megan Bazuski is going to lead off here against Morgan Newport. Huntley is up by 2 runs, which is hardly a cushion when you're facing this DeKalb team. But kudos to both Morgan Newport on the mound for DeKalb and also Tiffany Geis for the Raiders, as 0-1 to Bazuski so far. Newport stuffs back on the mound, and here's the pitch, and that is high up and in. Even count at 1 to Bazuski.
And Newport has continued just to be sound on the mound. A couple errant throws in that last inning led to those, well, I should say more than a couple errant throws. Led to those 3 runs, but once again, she's not really pitched a poor game, as you mentioned. It's hard to believe that she's actually on the losing side right now.
Well, there we go, 1-2, and that is off the plate, 2-2. Remember going to a Cubs game 4 years ago, Chipper Jones' last game at Wrigley Field. Cubs won 1-0, where Paul Mulholland outdueled Tim Hudson. I was in attendance at that game, and neither pitcher deserved to lose, but one of them had to, and that was fouled against the net. So it's still 2-2. I remember Starlin Castro tried for an inside the park home run, but he was gunned down at home plate. And the Cubs ended up winning that game 1-0. Then Chipper Jones was 0 for 4 in that game. And here we go. And this is a chopper right here to third baseman Millard, who's going to throw high to Levine and covering. And yes, indeed, that'll be an out right there. And all the teammates come to celebrate in the infield. I have to say that I think Millard has played her part in the score being the way it is, kind of like Haley Delgado in the last game for Yorkville with those errors. And I think Millard has made her share of errors and has contributed to the 4 errors for DeKalb. And now here is Sophia Tenuta, who takes the upper part of the plate for strike 1, 0-1 with 1 out in the top of the 6th. And it's a chopper right here to Millard, who has to pick this one from the ground. She deflected off of it and dropped it, but she fires to Levine, and coming in once again to congratulate Newport are the infielders, the Barbs right there. Yes, so Millard had dropped that one. That was a rocket fire right at her. She dropped that one, picked it up though, commendable job, fired over to Levine at first, now it's 2 down. Here is Taylor Pacana.
And just a good recovery there by Millard.
And it's going to be taken just off the plate, 1-0. You know, I love how in these 3 games we've seen, each game has been different, but in some aspects also symmetrical. So it is 1-0 to Pacana right now, and here is the pitch from Newport. Taken at the knees for a called strike.
Right, particularly that aspect of these are teams, and they work together as a well-oiled machine, except if one part is not functioning fully as it should, the team can suffer.
I stand corrected. We have a pinch hitter now. This is Sydney Adams. This is 1 ball and 2 strikes to her. I believe Pacana was supposed to hit, but I guess this is a pinch hitter right here. Playing behind the bag is Millard, and here we go. This is a chopper right towards her, and it's going to be in foul territory past the third base bag. Not too far adjacent from the Barbs dugout. One and 2 to Adams. And here we go. Swing and a miss right through that one. Strike 3. So we're going to the bottom of 6th. The score, Huntley 3, DeKalb 1. In a perfect world, both Tiffany Geis and Morgan Newport would be winners tonight. Unfortunately, this is not a perfect world, and not both of them can be winners. Only one of them can be, as Skylar Herring is going to dig in against Geis in the bottom of the sixth, and is going to take first strike at the knees. And so Huntley would be the first team to knock off DeKalb this season. Both pitchers have been pitched very well. They both deserve to win. Only one of them can win. And here we go. This is going to be a line shot, a bloop single into shallow right field, just inching fair. So, I mean, that was toward the foul territory, but it dropped down before the foul line, before it rolled foul. So, as a leadoff base knock for Skylar Herring, here is Jenna Levine, the first baseman.
And just another well-placed ball right there over first and second base, and just fair, as you mentioned, a little blooper. And as you said, not both of these pitchers can win tonight, but if it's going to be DeKalb, their offense that we've talked a lot about tonight, their potent offense really has to get going against Tiffany Geis.
I mean, not just that, though. I mean, credit to Geis for shutting this offense down, limiting it to only one run, but there's the pitch from Levine, from Geis, is going to allow that, line that one foul. On top of the DeKalb dugout, 0-2. When you score one run, it's up to your team, your defense, especially when you're up 1-0, which DeKalb was, to hold Huntley. But when you got 4 errors right there on the scoreboard and the other team has none, that really sticks out. And here's a swing and a miss right through this one, chasing it out of the zone. Just off the plate was Levine. Here is Tori Newport. And so that is one down. When you got 4 errors after being up 1-0, maybe 1-0 may not be a cushion, may not have an insurance run, but we got 4 errors and the other team doesn't have any. And here's the pitch. 1-0 to Newport. Now it's 0-1 as that fouls high off the net away. With 4 errors, it's just it just makes that much more difficult, even as great of a team as DeKalb is, who have been firing on all cylinders up until this point of the season.
Right, I mean, you just said Coach Davis wanted to see better defense, and they had been doing that. And then there you go, 4 errors. And a very, very strong pitcher that you're facing. One of the bigger challenges they faced this season. Geis, by the way, just recorded her 7th strikeout with that previous batter.
Swing and miss, strike 3, make that number 8. 2 down. So now here we have Jacqueline Longville. Like just about almost everybody on this DeKalb team, she is very fast. She is a complete speedster. And now we're going to have ourselves a pinch runner at first base. This is Danielle Stiles, who is going to pinch run for Herring. And now what we have here, we see Huntley themselves playing in. Not as shallow as DeKalb has been, but still in double play depth. And here we go. And this is a slap swing running towards the on-deck circle foul. 0-1 to Longville. And Newport has 8 strikeouts?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so they both got 8. And here we go, Longville, who swings right through this one. That's a high throw in the right field. This should be. And that's a safe right there. So Stiles was taken off. You have Tenuto, who was keeping an eye on Stiles at first base, and she fired a rocket over to Bacana, and then that sailed into right field. And Stiles maybe could have taken off for second base, but then she came back in time as rolled set. That's a running swing right there again toward the on-deck circle, maybe into the DeKalb dugout. I'm not completely sure about that one, but it's 1-2 in any event to Longville.
To me, one thing I'll say about these running, swinging approaches is, your feet aren't set, and so with a pitch especially that's moving, it's going to be tough to make solid contact and square that ball up. That's why I think we're seeing a lot of foul balls. Again, just trying to make that slapping contact as they pass, but if it doesn't work, then you're not really going to get a very good hit or hit the ball at all.
Now it's a full count to Longville. Nice job battling back right there. DeKalb has out-hit Huntley 6-3. Here we go, and this is a slapper right here to Brzezinski. They sidearm fire over there to Bakana, and that's going to get away, and going all the way to third base is Stiles. So that should be the first error of the night for Huntley. Longville is at first base. Yes, and here is Peyton Montgomery. Yes, indeed, the first error of the night. As I was about to say, DeKalb has out-hit Huntley, but Huntley has outscored DeKalb and has committed fewer errors. That is still the case, but Huntley just got their first error of the night, which could open the door a little bit for DeKalb and possibly there's a one-run game, if possibly a tied game, or possibly the Barbs could come back here and start a two-out rally and take the lead here in this bottom of the sixth.
And Peyton Montgomery is still looking for her first hit of the evening, though, so it will be contingent upon that.
Thing is, though, is that player can do it any time. You look at someone who you might not expect, who might be in a slump, they can come through at any moment, and anybody who's red hot can be cooled down. 0-1 on Montgomery, who slapped this one foul, 0-1. As Geis is going to step in. And there we go. There's a slapper right here to shortstop Doran. Sidearm throw, and that gets away. That's going to be an error right there. Going to be safe, and one-run scores. They're not done yet. They are not done yet. So scoring right there for DeKalb as Stiles is now a 3-2 game. Back-to-back errors. It's a one-run ball game. A runner at third and a runner at second. Here is Abby Taylor.
Yeah, you're talking about two critical errors there. You're right. Two sidearm throws that just were not really close to our target. And the opportunity now is very, very real for the Barbs to come back here and not only tie, but, again, two runners in scoring position. As we kept saying, a well-placed hit here is going to easily score two, or could very easily score two, and we'll seesaw back and forth, but we'll see.
A single will do it, and we know how fast this Barbs team is. We're seeing it firsthand right before our very eyes. Here's Abby Taylor. Runners at second and third, 2 out. Here's a pitch from Geis. Taken inside, 1 ball, no strikes. I think it's safe to say DeKalb has all of the momentum at the very moment. And here we go from Geis. And running towards that one, taking it for a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Starting to wonder if that's getting to Geiser now and affecting her delivery. Sidearm throw from Doran, got away from Bakana. Twice they've had a chance to put him away and retire the side. Here's a slap hit right there to Brzezinski, and it's over the bag foul. 2-1, and that's fair. That easily scores 2 runs. Two errors for Huntley, 4 for DeKalb. And that's a big reason why the score is the way it is right now. Runners threatening. A slap hit behind home plate, foul. 2-2. Even count at deuces to Abby Taylor. 2 outs. And it's a swing chop right here. This is going to be a close throw. And yes, indeed, that's Haley O'Mara with a sidearm throw. This time it does get the job done. 4-3 put out to Bakana. DeKalb does not score again. And we're going to go to the top of the 7th. Huntley is 3 defensive outs away from knockout DeKalb. Can they get an insurance run back? We shall see. Stay tuned for Friday Night Lights. Get ready for a photo finish, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a playoff game, but it might as well be, because it sure as heck feels like one with how intense it is. Caitlin Brown is going to lead things off for Huntley in the top of the 7th against Morgan Newport of DeKalb. Corey Stolzenbach with Christopher Simon, streaming on YouTube, Friday Night Lights, and ChicagoBandits.com. Huntley 3 defensive outs away from giving DeKalb their first loss of the season. They also beat them in the regional last year. They're up 3-2 right now. Can Caitlin Brown give them an insurance run back? We shall see. She's facing Morgan Newport as she takes the first pitch for a ball off the plate, 1-0.
Yeah, it would lend itself that a game like this, with all the excitement and the great pace we saw, would have a finish that we're going to expect here.
And that was a bunt right there by Brown, a very valiant effort, and lay that one down, and very fast, but Newport was right there to scoop that one up, throw overhand to Levine at first, and one down. Here's Jessica Shields.
Number 12, Jessica Shields.
Always a dangerous bat. Very fast, can play many different positions on the field. She's versatile, but very lethal. And that is taken down low and away for a ball. And Shields employs the same swinging strategy that many DeKalb's players does, because she does the swinging run right there, the running swing. And can she make contact? And that is a half swing for a strike. So it is an even count at 1 from Shields. Probably would have been a strike anyway if she didn't swing at it, but she did go around. So 1-1, the count with 1 out. And there's a swing right here, and that is going to be fouled into the Barb's dugout. 1-2 to Jessica Shields.
And Shields was on that pitch too, but she checked. Maybe just decided to swing a little bit too late and skewed that one foul to the left.
And here we go once again. That is high enough. The flex off the glove of Skylar Herring. That is 2-2. And here's the pitch. And this is a swinging chopper right here. That's going to deflect off the glove of Abby Taylor. Looks like she tried to get a read on it, possibly a play. She was charging in, but that just took a funny bounce off of her glove that deflected into the outfield. And Shields is on. Not the kind of person you want on when you're down by only a run and know that she's a stolen base threat with how fast she is. Here's Tiffany Geis.
Yeah, tricky bouncing ball up the middle. And you're exactly right. With Shields' speed. And
there she goes right there, and she'll be in safely. And Taylor's rushing to cover. Now all of a sudden she's in scoring position. So I wasn't so sure if anybody was even going to cover second base. Taylor came there just in time. And there was a throw from Herring, but it was insufficient. And Shields beat the throw and the tag. To Geis. Go ahead, partner.
Yeah, just no hesitation there, as we said. The fact that she could steal, and she took right off.
Right on cue. That's taken for a strike, 0-1 to Geis. An insurance run in scoring position. That'll be big for Geis. You can never get enough runs against this DeKalb team. Maybe only 2 runs, but they've had momentum, and they have threatened at times throughout the night. And they could have gotten more. And that is a swing foul against the Barb's dugout. 0-2 to Geis. And here we go. Outfield's very in. There goes Shields. And that is fouled against the net. 0-2. Yeah, I should point out the outfielders, all of them are very much in. Longville is in. And you have Montgomery, who is in. You have Karaszewski. They're all very shallow in. So look for possibly a play at the plate if Shields gets that far. Here's a running swing right there, and that's fouled back against the net. So yeah, Karaszewski in, Longville in, Montgomery in. All of them playing very shallow right now. And all 3 of them could potentially have their arms tested by Jessica Shields at second base. And Guy swings this one. It's a high pop-up. Shields won't tag up. That is caught by Taylor, who is under it, 2 down. Here is Riley Pareto. She has struck out both swinging and looking tonight. Shields remains at second base, and the outfield is much more back now. And again, Shields is trying to take off for third, but does no good as Pareto fouls this one, swings back, 0-1. Huntley certainly can win this game, even if Shields is stranded, but certainly be a squandered opportunity. And that is taken for a strike, and Parrell's in an 0-2 hole and could strike out for a third time tonight.
Well, you're right. Huntley would feel a lot better if they could get that run across because 2 runs, as we keep saying, in a tight game like this, feels like a lot more.
And Shields is going to take off for third base, and she's going to be in safely. She's going to slide in right there. Millard was covering, and Herring had to take that one down low and then fire a laser to Millard, but Shields slid in safely, 2-1 to Pareto. Insurance run is 90 feet away, and this is going to be right towards us by the right side of the bleachers. 2-2 the count. This is very tense right now. Huntley is within striking distance of adding another run. Newport is 1 pitch away from a strikeout, and that is going to be high up for ball 3. And this is the kind of things that makes this game so exciting because every little pitch, you know, the moments, the seconds, the drama builds up to all of it. And the climax keeps getting higher and higher and higher. You don't know what's going to happen next, especially if it falls off. If there's another pitch to go, just ask the attention. Here we go. And this is a liner right here in Newport. Comebackers got to fire to Levine at first, and that does it. Shields is stranded. She does not score. Huntley still leads, but it's 3-2. Tiffany Geis has some work to do. We're going to the bottom of 7, folks. 3-2, Raiders over the Barbs. And here we go, Obama 7th. This will be the last inning, assuming that there are no runs scored, or assuming that there is more than 1 run scored, in which case DeKalb would remain undefeated against Huntley, but they are down to our last 3 outs. Here is Morgan Newport trying to help her own cause. She is the pitcher of record on the losing side, facing Tiffany Geis, and has taken for a strike, 0-1. Yeah, it was ruled a ball on a scoreboard, but I believe that was just caught the outer part of the plate. Newport banned from the left-hand side. Here we go. This is very intense right here. Friday Night Lights, the last game of our triple header, perhaps the best game of all. Very intense. Now, this has been just a fantastic series of matches. These 6 teams, 3 games, 1-1 account to Morgan Newport. Very grateful for my partner, Christopher Simon, who's been with me all the way. And he's going to slap a single to left center field, Morgan Newport. And there starts the rally because DeKalb was threatening before. They had some 2-out rallies before, trying to get something done. But hey, they got a tying run at first base and 3 outs to work with. The kind of offense they got, they can perfectly orchestrate something and tie this game or possibly take the lead and walk off and win. Here is Mallory Warner right now. And I should point out that she has singled home Newport earlier in this game.
And Newport adding her 3rd hit of the game.
And this is a chopper right here. Could be big right here. This could be a 6-4 3-0 play. No, it won't be. That was a slow roll grounder to the shortstop Doran playing for Huntley, and she flipped to O'Mara covering second. The good news for Huntley is they get the lead runner, but they don't get the double play. So that is 1 out, and Warner will take first base on fielder's choice. Here is Aaron Karaszewski. This is a high pop-up. Who wants it? And that's going to drop in. It's a fair ball. It's going to be a blooper right there. Going up to second base is Warner. At first base is Karaszewski. I thought that was going to slice foul for sure. Somehow that trickled into fair territory. You see that Brzezinski, a third baseman for Huntley, she had a play under it. A bit of miscommunication there from her and Doran. And what do you know? That fell in. That's a fair ball. And Skylar Herring's at the plate. It's 1 out. Runners at first and second. My, oh my. It's 3-2 ball game right here. Can DeKalb stay undefeated? Can they push it to extras? Can Huntley knock them off just like they did last year in the regionals? My, oh my, how exciting this is right here. And here we go. Taken for a strike. 0-1 to Skylar Herring.
Big play after big play.
And so we take in a bit high of a strike. That's off the plate, 0-2.
Maybe better stated, big pitch after big pitch here.
Any way you slice it, it's accurate. And here we go. Off the plate once again, 1-2. This triple header this whole day has been expect the unexpected. And just when you think you've seen all the theatrics, here we go for possibly one last magical act. There's a swinger that gets past Geist. There's going to be a play at second base. Out! Out right there. Oh my goodness. You got to be kidding me. You have Karaszewski, who was taking second base, and that got past Geist, her glove. That was a roller. A good job by Haley O'Mara, the second baseman, to force the tag on Karaszewski, who was sliding into second base as 2 outs. But I should point out, it wouldn't be someone without a little drama as Dallas comes back on to first base to pinch run. There's a tying run at third base. That is Mallory Warner. Oh my goodness, here's Jenna Levine with 2 outs. Can you believe this? Here's a first pitch swing. This could tie the game. It's a fair ball. It ties the game. 1 run is in. It's a tie ball game here. The throw gets away. Oh my goodness. Jenna Levine has just tied this game. Mallory Warner. Oh my goodness. Autumn Casal was on it. She dove, but that was in fair territory. You gotta be kidding me. She dove at it. That was a first pitch fly ball to left field. It is 3-all. DeKalb remains alive. Can you believe what we are seeing here is Tori Newport.
Casal made the right move over there, right through her glove. Very, very close play. And the resilience of these DeKalb barbs is just amazing.
I'll say, partner, I will absolutely say, they have a pinch runner, Shea Hanlon, at third base. The basic win is foul, just a line of slice foul, 0-2 at Tori Newport. This is absolutely intense, and Tiffany Geist probably feels terrible for herself right now. This is 0-2 at Tori Newport. We can have a walk-off winner right here, which will be very fitting. And that is just off the plate, 1-2.
You're right, not missing by much. Once again, the game of inches. Very, very close to ending this inning and moving on to extras, but we continue.
And here we go. That's a base knock. Foul, just foul into right field. Just sliced into foul territory, and we will go once again 1-2. This is what I'm talking about, the drama building up to the climax. What will happen here? This gets more exciting as we go along, pitch by pitch by pitch. And here we go. And that's low on the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tori Newport. On deck, if need be, is Jackie Longville. Tori Newport is going to try to win this one against Geis. Here we go. And there's a swing. Did she pull back? There's the appeal. Yes, she did. She pulled back. So that is a ball. So it's a full count to Tori Newport. Way to battle back, folks. Geis is going to deliver to Newport, and that is down low and in. A baseline ball for Tori Newport. How much more dramatic can you get, ladies and gentlemen? And now, here is J.C. Longville. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Megan Brzezinski is very much in for Huntley. Jackie Longville trying to win it for the Barbs. And that is taken down low for a strike. 0-1 to Jackie Longville. And here we go. And that is up and in. 1-1. This is very tense right now. This is what drama is made of. There's a swing as a line shot foul into the left side stands. 1-2.
It's all contingent now if guys can execute that pitch, whether to get the easy out or get the strikeout here.
And here we go. There's a chopper right here. Who wants this one? It's going to be a very close play. No throw! No throw! No throw! Styles scores! There is no throw! Doran does not throw. Styles gets the walk-off. She scores. And they're coming to mob. They're coming to mob J.C. Longville. DeKalb stays undefeated. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely unbelievable. You can see how stoked they are coming out of the dugout. The high fives all around. Oh my goodness. Attention. Congratulations to DeKalb. The Barbs stay undefeated. 5-0. They really had to earn this one, didn't they, partner?
You're not kidding. And what an exciting game. Fighting back and forth. The pitching, the defense. Oh, my goodness. What a great game.
Morgan Newport gets the win. Tiffany Geis gets the loss. They had DeKalb hanging on the ropes, did the Raiders, but the Barbs, they were able to win this one, and they improved to 5-0 with 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th. They weren't dead yet. And, you can never count this DeKalb team out. What an amazing triple header we had. Friday Night Lights, got to thank our producer Bilal. He's been absolutely incredible thank the Chicago Bandits in the stadium, to all the teams that came out. My partner Christopher Simon, he was fantastic, and these 6 teams were just absolutely brilliant. They played brilliant, and gotta give them props. And thank you to you, the viewer, most of all, for tuning in to listen to some, or thank you if you listen to all of this, you stay with all of us, then you are a true fan. So for Friday Night Lights, this is Corey Stolzenbach on YouTube and ChicagoBandits.com. Good night, everybody. We'll see you in a couple weeks.